Gregor here for SchoolCarpool.com. In this video, I'll be discussing dismissal types and zones. To create a dismissal type, first we have to sign in as an administrator type account. Once we've signed in as the administrator, we click on Add New Group in the Group section. In the first field, we type in a label that will appear adjacent to the student's name, select the type as Type Dismiss, and then set a color for the group display. After we've entered these three values, we click on Save and New to allow us to enter yet another dismissal location. We can do this as many times as is necessary for the number of dismissal locations that are required for the school. These include carpool lanes or parent walk-up locations as are applicable. Now that we've finished entering our different dismissal locations, we're going to sign in as a dismissal user and take a look at what that user will see. We select the main console, then verify that we have the proper dismissal location selected and enter carpool numbers. At the top of the screen, you'll see the transactions being processed by the server. We can quickly and easily switch between dismissal locations, typing in carpool numbers and entering them so that the students will have the proper labels adjacent to their names in the classroom. Manually refresh the screen here so that we can see the view. If you have a school that has a matrix style location for dismissal, such as multiple columns and rows, a more applicable entry mechanism might be a zone. We select Add New Zone in the Group section, then type in a zone name. Each location in the zone can have a label and a color associated with it. In this example, I'm going to start with Lane 1, Car Position 1, and continue with Lane 2, Lane 1, Car Position 2. I'll step ahead here so that you can see the completed field after it's all filled in. With the majority of the fields filled in, observe that it's possible to have a different number of rows and columns in your zones based upon how many entries you select. Once you've completed entering your zones, scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on Save to save the zone title along with each of the positions for the zone. Now we'll sign back out and sign in as a dismissal user and move to the zone selection screen and select the zone we just created. Each of the zones has locations for entering carpool numbers. Individual numbers may be entered, or multiple numbers separated by any non-numeric value are allowed. For the purposes of this video, I filled in all of the fields and then I select the process button to process each one of them. Now we'll move over and take a look at the main console again to see how that information is displayed. As you can see, each of the individual students are displayed with the corresponding zone and color. There are alternative ways of creating zones. In this case, rather than having individual car locations, we've created a front and rear for each of the lanes, and for the shorter lane 4, just a single entry location. We have this alternate zone entry here with many fewer fields for data entry. Once again, I step ahead by putting in multiple numbers and process them, and let's take a look at how those appear on screen. As you can see, they show up with their labels and the appropriate colors. In most cases, a school will have either dismissal types or zones, but not typically both. This concludes this video.